Okay, chat, this requires some explanation. Let me take you way back to 2016. I almost said 2016 or 20,016. That'd be a completely wrong number, chat. That'd be tens of thousands of years off. We're back in the year 2016. I'm currently even in the country of the United Kingdom with its draconian laws. So he's very good at avoiding problems. But when he exhausts all his resources, when he's called everybody he can a pedophile, when he starts accusing random people 3 degrees of separation from me of being child abusers for whatever fucking reason, because he's a sick fuck, he doesn't know what to do. The next steps that he would have to take in order to try and take down the Kiwi Farms is break the law. But Vordrak, being a moderately intelligent person with a master's degree in law, knows that breaking the law is against the law, so he chooses not to do that. Instead, he reaches out to mutuals who have threads on the forum who are not happy about it. And this creates what we called the Legion of Doom. So there was Vordrak, it was Donny Long, Eddie, he had a Polish name, it was like Eddie Pazile or something. And then there was another guy from the United Kingdom that was like a little retard, and I forget his name. But they were really, really desperate to shut down the forum, and they thought that by just being big enough dickheads to people related to me that I've never even spoken to, it would work. Donny Long was by far the most dangerous and persistent of all those people, even including Vordrak. Donny is like a Tasmanian devil. That's the closest thing that I can describe him to. Donny has a very, very long list of people that he fucking hates. And he creates fake emails for them, fake websites, and he controls them all. And when he starts writing up, like, what he does, okay, imagine, this is literally what happened to me. So Vordrak starts up his crusade, and he starts calling me a pedophile. And he tries slinging whatever fucking money he can. He tries to defame me in any which way he can. He pumps out literally hundreds of articles on his blog site to try and poison my SEO. And I don't care. I don't relent. So then he goes after my mother, and it doesn't work. And he goes after my grandmother, my grandfather, my aunt and uncle, and my father's brother, and literally people I've never met or seen or spoken to or heard of in any way, shape, or form were suddenly being called pedophiles on this guy's blog. Then Donny goes out and he does some really fucking awful stuff. He goes after people that, again, have nothing to do with me, don't talk to me, haven't talked to me since. And he even gets sued by one of them. And that is kind of the beginning of the end of the Vordrak arc. Because what happens is that when he got sued by someone in my family, Donny said, look, I know he didn't want to deal with it. So he said, look, I've got... And the person that sued him figured out how to service him. He was in hiding and nobody knew where he was. But there's ways to service people even if they're in hiding. And when the lawsuit got serviced correctly, he took notice of that and said, look, if you'll drop the suit, I'll give you all the evidence of who's really doing this and whose ideas this are. And he proves that it's Sam. And this person in my family goes after Sam in England and hires, I always forget the name of this, but it's like a big dick. It's one of like the highest, most important defamation law firms in the United Kingdom. Very fucking expensive. Sam actually tried to join their law firm, because in the UK, in order to become a proper solicitor, you have to be interned at a firm. So these firms get to decide who their competition will be in the future, and it's a very competitive field. Very few people get like interned into into the system. So he'll never ever be an actual solicitor in the UK because he is a fucking lunatic. But he really tried to suck ass and get into this group of people. And then when my family ended up suing him, they hired this group. So he has no end there now. But eventually, I think Sam settled with them, took down all the articles about those people, but not my mom. Because when this, to give you an idea of how fucking cruel people in my family are, and then people wonder, like, Josh, don't you care? And it's like, well, when they blame my mom for this. So when Sam took down all his articles, the person that sued him had no clause whatsoever that the ones about my mom go down. So those are still up to this day because they McLaughlin. Sounds close. I'm not sure though. So those are still up. Then I made a deal with Eddie, and when I made this deal, and remember this was like 10 years ago almost, I think. I did not expect him to agree, and I didn't expect him to actually hold up his end of the deal. Carter Ruck. That is correct. That's the one. Carter Ruck. That's the one. That's the one that they hired to sue him, and that was the one that Vordrak brown nosed real fucking hard. Like he was tongue deep in that butthole for Carter Ruck. And let's see. I told him, I said, I would delete your thread and I'll keep it down as long as you, A, give me all your email exchanges with Sam, and B, you fuck off. And he did. Uh, so I never expected that. And at this time, I was, for whatever reason, just coincidentally at the same time Bordrak was doing all this shit, I kept getting swatted. And when I say swatted, I mean the FBI would come to my house and be like, we got a bomb threat from your email servers. This happened like 3 times. I've told this story before. I told it on the Internet Jute stream. If you're interested in like old Kiwi Farms deplatforming crazy shit, go listen to that stream because that was before all the tranny stuff. But when this happened, it happened 3 times. The first time there was a bomb threat to my school that I had graduated from or left. Actually, I left. I did not graduate from that school. But he knew where I was from, so he sent a bomb threat to my school pretending to be me. I got detained by the FBI in Pensacola for that. I explained that it was an internet thing. I didn't do anything. I gave them the logs that they asked for, and it was all from Tor, so there was nothing to be held on. The second time, and the first time that it happened, the news talked about it, and I also talked about it, and then Sam republished it, and he even threw in a little line about how the sheriff better be careful because as long as the Josh Moon vermin is in Pensacola, this will continue to happen. So the second time it happened, I got a door knock, and I just said, look, it's probably the same guy doing the same thing. So they said they were kind of irritated, you could tell. And I said, one guy even asked me, like, what do you get out of this? You get, like, money or something? And I was like, no. I was like, so why do you do it? And he's like, well, I believe in internet freedom. And he's like, okay, whatever. And left. And I didn't, this time I had the wise idea, I'm not going to talk about it. And because it was a repeat, the news didn't run with it. There was no mention about it, no publicity statement, and I didn't talk about it. So Sammy, allegedly, probably, based off my suspicions, threw in this bomb threat and didn't get anything out of it. So then the third time that it happened, he targeted a bunch of hospitals. And also, he sent in an email to like a bunch of different hospitals and law enforcement, and then also CC'd in his Witchfinder General email address as like a list of as like one of the reporters this mysterious stranger was sending this bomb threat to. So then Vordrak had a copy of the email so he could publish an article and say, "Wow, I got sent this threatening email." So after that, I knew the FBI would visit again. This time I was living in Buffalo because I had been successfully driven away from Pensacola. And this was, by the way, the flight that cost me 100 Ethereum that I sold at $11 each. So I was in Buffalo at the time, and I expected the FBI. So I printed out all of Eddie's emails or all of Donnie's emails from Sam, and I printed out like this entire 100-page dossier. And the FBI visited me, and this is why I mentioned that I had only been investigated by the Northern District or the Buffalo District of New York FBI. They came to my house and were like, "Do you know anything about this threat?" And I gave them a fucking manila envelope with 100 pages of shit from Sam. I said, "It's Samuel Collingwood Smith. He lives at this address in Hertfordshire, England. He's been doing this for 3 fucking years." And after that, it stopped. He's been super fucking tame. So whatever they did after that, it worked. He's been pretty chill since then. I guess maybe their counterparts spoke to him about the fucking bomb threats that kept happening. And they actually got something done. So congratulations, Department of Justice. I can't hate you too much. So that's the Donny Long story, basically. He's a psycho. This guy is genuinely one of the most dangerous people that I've ever encountered. Like, he is a fucking lunatic. And I am shocked that it took this fucking long. Let's read his charges, by the way. I mentioned that he's a porn star. And when I say porn star, what I mean is he has an Asian wife that he has sex with and puts the videos on the internet and then calls himself like a hotshot porn star. When really he's just like having sex with like mail order brides in shitty rooms. And I think that actually they probably weren't with him consensually based on his charges. Let's read, chat. Extortion or threaten another person. Harassment of judge or assistant. Coercion or intimidation. Financial benefit from forced labor. That's a fucking slavery charge. He got hit with human trafficking. So I bet you his Asian wife that he's been doing sex videos with all these years was not with him consensually, and he's basically a slaver. Tamper with or withhold testimony. Cyber intimidate or threaten harassment. Yeah, fucking tell me about it. Follow, harass, cyber stalk another. Yeah, fucking tell me about it. Cyber intimidate, threaten, harass. Follow, harass, cyber. So that's four different charges just related to cyber stalking. And then let's take a look. I looked this up, and I don't know if it's below here. It's not. So these charges right here, you can see that they were all filed in November so he got arrested several times. They booked him originally in November and then again in December for, so this was for threatening the judge and from the slavery charge. Then he tampered and withheld testimony. Then he got out again and then went online and harassed a bunch of people. And then 3 months later in February of this year, he gets hit with threatening a public servant. So they let him out 3 different times, and each time he threatened a different judge. And he was let out on like $75,000 bond the first 3 times, and now he's being held without bond. So he's stuck in jail. And I already have Hardin on this. They're refusing to release the body cam footage to us, even though Florida has wide open, it's called the Sunshine Law. They have wide open public record laws. They're refusing to because he's being prosecuted by a special prosecutor because he has threatened every judge and every prosecutor in the entire county, and they're having to get a visiting judge and a special prosecutor from a different jurisdiction to litigate it because there's a conflict of interest with every single member of public official in the entire fucking county. That's how fucked up it is, and they don't want to release the footage because they don't know if it would cause another conflict of interest and fuck up the prosecution. And while he's been in custody, he has filed several complaints with the jail for various treatment. He's alleging cruel and unusual punishment, that they're not treating him well in jail. So he's like a genuinely fucking insane person. And God willing, he will never get out. Because it's just like, and it's crazy. This is the crazy thing. Why does it always get to this? Why do we have to wait fucking years and years and years for this guy to do the insane shit that he is before it happens? Like, he's just been in Florida being a fucking menace, suing people pro se. He ran for governor of Florida. There's a new thread for him, by the way, if you want to go find it in the Prospering Grounds. He's been doing all sorts of shit for fucking years, and we let it get this bad before the government finally fucking crushed him. Why do people like Liz Fong Jones and Russell Greer and Acer Thorne and Donny Long get to just run around and do whatever the fuck they want and ruin people's lives for decades before someone does something? The government needs like a dedicated pest control task force to just round people up like this and throw them in the and unplug them early, unplug themselves early. Understand, chat? Yeah. Fuck this guy. I can't wait for the body cam footage. They denied us. Hardin says that their denial is stupid and it's against the law. But as I mentioned, if you want to protest that kind of thing, you got to sue. So we don't want to sue them. We're going to be nice and try to. Here's the thing about Hardin. Here's what I love about him. He has riz. He is a very polite, professional, and he has got like a little bit of a country. I think he's like from Kentucky, so he's got like a Kentucky country boy accent. He's got the riz. Negative riz. I talk to anybody about anything, and people immediately assume I'm a fucking weirdo, and they don't want anything to do with me, and they hate me right off the bat. It doesn't matter who it is. I got like -3 Riz. Harden's got like an 8 or a 9 Riz. He's high up there. So if I ever need to talk to somebody, I just ask him to do it for me. Because I know if I write a fucking email and I send it, whoever receives it is going to say, wow, fuck this asshole. But if he does it, then the door's open wide. So I don't know if that is like a skill you get in lawyer school. I don't fucking have it though. I don't like. I genuinely I don't know what the fuck. I have no idea why people instinctively hate me when I start talking to them. But I'm very appreciative to have people around me that do have the Riz, because I don't. Okay. So. We're going to ask just for the papers at first, and in particular the jail petitions about his treatment in prison. And then hopefully, as the prosecution is underway, we can get body cam footage. But I'm a patient man, chat. I'm already planning. I'm planning my next 8 lawsuits. We're going to be suing the OCC. We're going to be suing the DOJ. We're going to be talking to Ojai County. We will get the body cam footage. We're going to get all the body cam footage. From now on, the government is going to be sending me body cam footage whenever they fucking come in. Okay, I'm the default. They just know. Don't even bother. Just send this guy the body cam footage. He'll want it. It's happening. I'm going to make it happen.
Thank you for watching this clip. This is the CACA Welfare. Remember to like and subscribe.